Sorry, people, I had company. That's okay. Everybody likes to see you when you're doing something. Make your dog bark. So before we extracted SED from the tar archive, we didn't do anything with it. We just extracted it and went around and looked and seen our usage and everything else like that. Okay, so that is where we left off. So now I'm going to go ahead and configure SED, saying configure prefix equals tools. That run through. SED's only about a minute total. SED's a stream editor, and we've been using a lot of SED, and we'll use a ton more SED. But it can replace strings in text. So say if you have a cat, if you cat out a file and it says, you know, I am Sam, you can replace that string in the text I am Sam with I am Bob, you know, with SED. And you can turn switches on and off, in which we're going to be doing with SED as well. I'm not this Zen SED master, but you know, that's what SED does. So, but we're putting SED on our new Linux from scratch. Okay, SED's all done. Go back up. We're going to remove the extracted file. Now we'll go in tar. Say tar. Extract tar bz2. This is going to take 2 minutes to do. CD into that extracted folder, and we have to put in a patch and move the mouse, make it a little easier for everybody. Tar gcc fixes test1 patch. Okay, and we're going to say configure prefix equals tools. Run that. Tar, you know what tar does. I've been using it all this time. Tar, it's the book version on page 83 where we're at. Says, you know, tar is the archiving program. You know, or you know, you tar up a file, you zip up a file, untar a file, unzip a file, compression and all that stuff like that. So, but we're installing tar. Are getting tar ready to be installed on our Linux from scratch. Nothing is really installed yet. Well, I'm probably wrong about that. But we don't have any. We don't have a directory structure. We didn't make it yet. So, you know, it's kind of like, where do the files lay, right? We didn't make a directory structure, so I think it's being installed to our tools directory, and after we make a directory structure, we I guess we redirect everything from the tools directory into their appropriate folders. I'm not sure how that works. I know it does work, but not really certain on too much about that. So we're going to go back up, and we're going to remove our extracted file. Okay, we're going to say tar vf text info. We got to extract text info. Text info contains packages for reading, writing, and converting info pages. Okay, and believe it or not, if you don't think you need info pages, or you don't think you need to set your clock, you're totally wrong. Because guess what? Gentoo, you don't set your clock, you will not have it installed. I don't know why. Well, I do know why now. At the time, I didn't think it was important to set a clock while I was trying to, you know, install operating system. But I guess with timestamps and everything else like that, yeah, it's really bad. I went to compile the kernel, and I had to force compile the kernel, and that never works out. Well, it didn't work out for me. It's terrible. So, but text, you know, your man pages and all that stuff like that. Try not to skip anything, especially if you want a successful install. I would not recommend skipping anything at all, because anything can go wrong. You just follow it by the book, and it'll pop out just fine. No, I didn't. I didn't. I don't like to read. I hate to read. YouTube's so much easier. You know, you see everything, and you can go from that. But sometimes it breaks down to where, you know, nobody has videos up, or the videos are terrible, and you have to go the old-fashioned way and use your eyeballs and read. As good as that is. But yeah, even read your man pages. It's good for you. Okay. So now text info's out, and we need to extract our utilink BZ file. Utilink has Linux utilities, and go cd into utilink. Now we're going to use sed, and we're going to say sed I. This is pretty much, I think, turning on a switch and off a switch. Okay. I noticed in the GCC folders and areas of different programs that you have these funky @ symbols. Include @G. Have these funky @ symbols. I'm going to check this real quick and stop looking. Say set @ user, include @ tools, include @G. Okay. Have these funky @ symbols, and if you're familiar with Bash and whatnot, how the pound sign, pretty much anything after the pound sign, you get nothing. So if you were to say something like echo, we'll say keeper. If you echo keeper, you get keeper. But if you're throwing a pound sign before keeper, you get nothing. So the pound sign emits, it's kind of like a comment. The pound sign allows you to, if you're scripting, you can add comments. But whatever's after the pound sign is not going to show up. I know you hardcore Linux people know this, but some people don't. So with the @ symbol, I think that's as a like a comment. So by saying all that with the @ symbol and whatnot, it's comments and outlines, or effectively kind of like a switching. So I think what sed's doing is, you know, turning on switches and turning off switches, and probably, you know, doing what sed does, and that's replacing strings and text. But I'm not the monster Linux geek or nothing. I want to be, but that's what I think's going on. My goal is kind of to get this and use this for a very long time. This Linux from scratch. That way I can do everything without a GUI, actually know what's going on, and help me out programming a little bit better, because I have no alternative. Which is how Linus Torvald got his start. They said Linus was, well, Linus said, he was using Minix, and he did not like Minix, and he decided to make his own little partition with his own little install on it, and that's how he got his kernel. And he had no choice but to use his, I'm going to stop talking and read this out here and say copy mount / okay, mount text utils more tools bin, okay. Oh, no S. Great. Linus got it down. He was using his Minix, and actually he screwed up and filled his newly created, or he screwed up and filled his hard drive with modem code. So now he had a Minix partition that was destroyed, and he didn't want to go back and do it all over again. So he decided to keep going with his own operating system. He split off of Linux, or Minix with an M as in Michael. He had no choice but to use it and build on it because he destroyed his other hard drive, or his Minix partition. So that's pretty cool. If you get a chance, check out the Computer History Museum. That website is awesome. A whole bunch of old geeks, a whole bunch of old timers talking about old geezers talking about old geezing. So, alright, now we got U to Linux installed and everything else. We're on page 87. It tells us now that we can chown R root to root LFS tools. We have to change the permissions to LFS tools to root. And it tells us that we need to exit to do that. So now we're out of our hard drive, as it is, or out of our partition that we have Linux from scratch installed on. Present working directory, root, list. This is the live CD. Okay. We can echo out, say, LFS. We still have that variable. We need that variable. From here, I'll show you in a second what we're going to do. We got to change the root permissions for our new install. Say LFS tools. Change it to root. Okay. Did I have to strip that? Or did I strip that? I don't remember. Is there a strip involved? E-R-O-U. E-I-O-U. Alright, I'm not going to get any previous stuff here because I didn't do that. Let's type in DFH, see what's used. Okay, so we got 570 used. I didn't strip. 86 says we beneficial to learn that unnecessary items can be removed. It says by stripping on page 86 we can strip down our tools lib directory and our tools sbin directory by taking out all the files that we don't need. Okay, I don't know if we did that. I don't remember. I was probably blah 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 talking, but we should have did that. If you didn't do that, that's okay. If you did do that, that's better. But if you didn't do that, that's okay. I think we can keep moving because we're going to strip it down later on anyway. Alright, so it's just a little bulky right now. That's fine. Okay. I'm going to list and show you what's in our LFS partition right now. What is there? LFS. Okay. You see that right there? I'm not going to go to it because I don't need to. But this is the only thing that's in our directory structure right now, as it is on our new hard drive. There's nothing there. The only thing there is your sources directory and your tools directory. You got no bin directory, no sbin directory, no user directory. None of the other directories that are here. This is off the live CD. Okay. What we're going to do now is we're going to build all this directory structure. Okay. And then we're going to take what's linked against tools and put them all in our new build directories. Okay. So like I said, right now there's nothing on the hard drive but a bunch of sources and a bunch of tools that are prepped for us to build them. Okay? So what we need to do is you say make directory P for preserve permissions, I think, or something like that. Say LFS. We're going to make a dev folder. We're going to make a proc folder, and we're going to make a sys folder. Okay? Okay. And we're going to make kernel nodes. Make node M600 assign LFS dev console C 5 and 1. That's done. LFS dev null C1 and 3. Okay, that's that. Now we have to mount our we have to mount and bind, or I think it's tools. Gonna mount and bind. No, we have to mount and bind our device folder to our LFS device folder. Okay. So that's what we're gonna do now. Check that. Mount, bind, dev, LFS. Great. Okay. Now our device folder is bound to our empty device folder. I'm gonna say mount v for verbose type dev PTS dev PTS dev mount dev LFS dev PTS. So basically what we're doing is we're taking I guess what is mounted off the live CD, and we're mounting it to our Linux partition that we made. That's where our Linux from scratch is going to reside. Okay? Check that, make sure that's fine, which it is. Okay? You see I'm going a little on the back end, you know, temp fs shim. I'm going to say $LFS dev shim. That's mounting it to that. Okay, great. And we're going to say we're going to mount proc to LFS proc. Check it, it's fine. Okay. And we got to mount also our sysfs to $LFS sys. Nope, not dsys. Sys. Okay. That's cool. Alright, we're on page 90. It talks about package management and all that good stuff you can read. You can skip down if you want, like I am. I'm not going to talk about all that. And I'm going to clear the screen, stop the video here. We'll pick it back up at page 94, where we need to chroot or change root. That's what chroot means. We're going to need to change root into our LFS folder, or our LFS. Actually, it's going to be the root of our new file system. Okay, so we need to change root into that, set up in some environment variables. Okay, and we're going to start building some folders inside of our empty, not quite empty file system. So I'll get you on the next one, homie. If I can. Ooh, look at that sticky. Got some draw going on in my system. A little bit of draw. 13,580. I'll see you then.